Alrighty, you can tell by the iconic chimney we're walking towards that we are in the upper end of no business. I've never seen no business from the chimney out, so I'm gonna walk it a little bit, and not far today, but just check things out and see what it looks like. Again, we always stop here and never go any further, so gonna walk down the creek a ways and see what it looks like. When you leave the chimney, there's a pretty decent road that parallels, kind of like a continuation of the no business road, but it's a little bit wet. Been a vehicle through here recently. No business changes quite a bit, a little bit wider and a little more volume downstream, downriver, but still a very beautiful scene. Another thing that I've noticed is a stand of cane pretty much everywhere. I'm not quite sure where this came from, but oh, and several more years there'll be a lot of good fishing poles here. But there's quite a bit of cane growing along this strip. Alrighty, the road stopped here at the cemetery. I'm going to take a quick walk up there and then look like I'll be bushwhacking a little ways till I get to the bend. Such a beautiful place and no business that it's very easy to romanticize the area, but you can't underestimate how difficult a life it was down here. What we're seeing is 100+ years later, so very different looking now than it was then. Basically cleared off from cliff to cliff. And visiting old graves reminds you how difficult life was when you see the number of children buried and the high mortality rate for children. And again, I come down and I'm in love with the place because it's so peaceful, but this was a very remote area at the time and very difficult to live. I'm very, very fortunate I have came at the right time. Someone had planted buttercups. They're in full bloom. That's really good. A lot of unmarked graves as well. Lots of unmarked graves. Jordan's buried up on the hill to my left. Was there not too long ago. Flowers are just beautiful. Not quite sure how they survived the cold spell. And so many unmarked graves. As with many it's now backcountry graves, it's very, very quiet and peaceful. Very tranquil. Gonna move on and walk up the creek a ways, see what it looks like. I want to at least get to where the first tributary comes in on the right. Well, I found what I was looking for, and that is a remnant of an old road that parallels the creek. And again, no business, just keeps looking normal. It's wide and plenty of water. Well, just signs of life and hard work everywhere you look. This is just right along the above the creek. Huge stone. I have no clue how they managed to stack all this stuff. Remnants of an old road coming off the side of the hill. I'll walk up here and check this flat out. Walked up this bench above the old road and looks like possibly a chance of an old home place, but it's hard to say. And the biggest problem is all the old maps I've got from friends is that nothing's listed past the chimney anyway. I don't see a really big rock pile that'd be indicative of a chimney, so I'm thinking possibly clearing off for a field or something of that nature. But it looks like an old road all the way around the top, which the other day my hiking buddy Randy and I went around the Tackett Creek Road, and it came all the way down above the Boyatt, so who knows, could be a continuation of that. Alright, I'm going to go down the creek and walk a ways and then call it a day. Huge piles of rocks. Again, don't know if part of a home place, a fence line, or just clearing the field off. Alrighty, I've lost the road and got to the bend anyway, and I'm going to start back. I think a person can get on around, have to take the high path up the hill and come back down. As my buddy Randy says, check out his channel, Papa in the Woods, one trip always leads to another. Started down Longfield Branch, walked over to the chimney, followed the old road to the Boyatt Cemetery, and then kind of got off trail from there to here to where the no business makes the bend, and got a little rough and by myself, so I'm going to head on back. One surprising point to me, again, I've stated earlier I've only been to no business at the chimney, is how wide and a lot of water flow all the way up here. So my initial guess was that it would get narrow and as we got up the hollow, but that's not the case. So again, one venture leads to another. We'll get on out around the bend here sometime soon and check out the very headwaters of No Business. Appreciate you watching. I'm going to head back and I'll talk to you later.